What's goody? What's goody? What's goody? Welcome to the Doja Prolific Vision. My name is Doja, and this is the Prolific Vision. What am I touching on today? Generational curses. So let's get into it. A lot of people think that a generational curse is a bad thing. Okay? A generational curse can go one of two ways. One, it's a bad curse that needs to be broken. Or a generational curse can be a good thing of something that needs to keep going. Let's start with the bad one first. There are bad things that might have started off good, but now it's at a point where it needs to be broken. It needs to stop, okay? And a lot of people look at it, as a horrible thing. All it takes is one person to step out and to do something different that has never been done before. And that breaks the curse. Because if you have a chain that's linked together, how many links do you think it needs to be broken? One. One link breaks that chain, okay? And if that one part of that link falls, which 9 times out of 10, both ends will fall, it falls together. You get what I'm saying? What am I saying? If one person breaks that, then 9 times out of 10, because that's all God needs, all the universe needs, all the higher powers need, is one link to break away. Okay? And to do something different. Okay? A lot of people don't understand that. Why? Because in this society, in this generation, that's not being taught. Okay? I'll be the first to say, being 44 years old, what my mother and father taught us, I was raised in a household that was was teaching, get a job, okay? But then when I got on the phone with my grandmother would say things like, utilize your gifts, okay? You have talents, utilize that, okay? Because she comes from that generation where gifts are important. You get what I'm saying? Entrepreneurship is important. Let me kind of back up a little bit before I go all the way forward with this. My great-grandfather, Reverend S.B. Scott, may he rest in peace, yesterday marked 44 years of his passing. He passed September the 7th, 1978. A little bit over a month after I was born. And I'm the youngest grandchild of my grandmother and the youngest great-grand from my grandfather, okay? So, my great-grandfather was a Mason. He was an entrepreneur, okay? He had a 10th grade education, okay? But he sent all of his children to college on that 10th grade education, as well as he got the money from his entrepreneurship, okay? My great-grandfather built homes. He built domes, churches. He pastored 2 churches, one in Flint, Michigan, and he also pastored a church at Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Okay, so I come from that that family of good generational curse, but it was broken. How was broken? My great-grandfather married a very wealthy woman, Clara Scott, okay? Clara Scott had money. She was originally from Mississippi, okay? My great-grandfather was originally from St. Joseph, Louisiana. So he married a wealthy woman. She didn't need his money. He didn't need her money, okay? So my great-grandfather's children, which was my grandmother and them, I believe he had five. Okay, one of them, my grandmother, married wealth. Okay, but then when my grandmother met my grandfather, he was a wealthy man, but he was a wealthy man through 9 to 5. Okay, her sisters married men that had owned their own companies. They was entrepreneurs, like my great grandfather. You see how I just said that? That's what broke. That's what shifted. Okay, so here we go. My grandfather taught my mother and them to either go to school or get a job. Okay, he didn't teach entrepreneurship at all. My grandmother knew about it. Okay, so every chance she got, she was shooting at, get your own business, utilize your gifts. You know what I mean? You're talented, utilize that. Okay, because my grandmother didn't work unless she wanted to. Okay, but my grandfather worked for the Pine Bluff Arsenal. Okay, so he was a man that was in the service. Okay, coming up from two different backgrounds. My grandmother coming from out of her wealth and her teachings of entrepreneurship, and then my grandfather coming out of the 9 to 5. Okay, my great grandfather on my grandfather's side, Papa Charlie Noble, he passed because his house caught on fire. Okay, and he turned around to run back into the house to save his wealth, which was his money. Okay, at that time, his money was in a chicken coop. Okay, so the house caught on fire as well as the chicken coop caught on fire. Well, they found my great grandfather in the ruins of in the midst of trying to get his money. Okay, how did they know that? Because his hand was on his money, and the only thing that was recognizable was his hand and the solid gold ring on his finger that my grandmother ended up wearing until her death. Okay, so having those teachings does a lot. What does it do? If you're not taught to do entrepreneurship, you hear about it. We are in a world now where, in a time now, not just in the world, but in a time now where entrepreneurship is really advertised, it's really promoted, it's really being pushed. Okay, a lot of black people are stepping up to the plate, utilizing their gifts and their talents, and becoming entrepreneurs. Okay, at that time, not too many people obviously was promoting that. So if you wasn't taught that, you didn't think to pass that on. Everything that you have passed on are the things that you are taught to pass on to the next generation. Why am I talking about all of this? Because I am one, like I said, out of the youngest of 8. Okay, my mother sat me down and she told me a lot about my great grandfather and all the great things that he did, when they were growing up. He also paid for my mother to go to college. So my great grandfather, he was a man, like she said one time, his next door neighbor came by and he told my great grandfather that his wife was passing. No, she was sick. Okay, and he said he was, deathly ill. He told my great grandfather, he said, but if you promise to take care of my wife when I pass, I'll sign the deeds over to you to take care of my wife. My great grandfather agreed to it, and when that man passed, my great grandfather became the owner of his house, as well as he took care of his wife. I'm sharing this to the world because I want to see, as well as myself, us to be more veered to entrepreneurship and understand that not all generational curses are a bad thing. You can Google it. You can look it up in the Webster Dictionary what a curse is. It's just the same thing that's been going on and on, that hasn't changed, that hasn't been broken. Okay, Why would we break a good cycle? Okay, if the cycle is good, you break it. In the Bible, it says genealogy. Okay, meaning that generations. Okay, that have done this, that, and the other. You get what I'm saying? Just like Solomon did as his father David did. Okay, David's father was Jesse out of Bethlehem. Okay, keeping up with things that our ancestors and our people have done. You get what I'm saying? Keeping a cycle, a good cycle going on in our families. Um, Keeping a good cycle within us. You get what I'm saying? It does not necessarily have to be um, material things. It can be your type of thinking, your type of your heart. You know, you could be one that's a giver. You get what I'm saying? My great grandfather was the type of man. Many men came to him looking for work, and many men came to him looking to borrow. So those who looked for work, he gave them work, and those who looked to borrow, he gave them work as well. You get what I'm saying? He was the type of man, instead of you coming to me borrowing from me, and God knows when you're going to pay me back, because he was the man who built homes with his bare hands from ground up. He just offered them a job. That way you don't have to borrow anything from me. You earned your money. You get what I'm saying? And you can now feed your family and do whatever else other things that you would like to do. Okay? But when people are not taught that, and when people don't know anything about that, you get what I'm saying? A lot of people veer to 9 to 5s. I stated in one of my first videos, if only you knew what you had on the inside of you. You get what I'm saying? A 9 to 5 will be something that you wouldn't even look towards. You get what I'm saying? You will begin to utilize those things that are on the inside of you, than to look to what someone else has to offer you. You will understand that you're more of an asset to this world than anything. You get what I'm saying? So I just wanted to share that with you all. Y'all be blessed. Tap in, hit the like, hit the share, leave a comment, hit the sub button. You get what I'm saying? And stay tuned to my next video, because we're going to get more into this. You know what I mean? So y'all be blessed. Peace.